What's good, YouTube, and welcome back to another KaibaHacksDartz Yu-Gi-Oh video. Today, we're back at it again with our Recreating Dungeon Dice Monsters series, and this is part 6, the Dungeon Mat, the Dungeon Map, whatever you like to call it. And if this is your first video, or if you're not subscribed to the channel, I recommend you subscribe. We're going to be doing a lot more with the Dungeon Dice, especially with our recreated stuff here. And of course, we also do different Yu-Gi-Oh videos as well, deck profiles, deck updates, deck lists, all that stuff. So like I said, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Helps out the channel huge. So this is actually pretty easy if you have the gridded paper, and if not, it's still pretty easy. I've used this for the dungeon tiles as well video. And if you do have this, all you need to do is clean up some of the edges so that you can attach them to make a 13 by 19 grid. And that's the size of an actual dungeon dice mat. So like I said, all I did was remove the pages and clean them up on the side so that they're right to the actual edges, because you can see some of them kind of go in between an inch, and then attach them using 4 to get your dungeon dice mat. And I just use clear tape, which I recommend. In the end, you could go over and completely clear tape, kind of laminate it yourself with clear tape, or just kind of leave it bare. You can Mod Podge it. There's a lot of different options for what you can do to obviously customize it yourself. And if you don't have the grid paper, you can just try and find a big, like kind of poster board sheet, something like that, or a couple of just sheets of paper, and cut it out so it is 13 by 19 inches, because that's how big it is. Now, if you want, you can add an extra inch on each side, like I've done for this one, to just have kind of a border, and you can color that in, or, you know, maybe put the crests there, so you could put a dice on them to represent how much crests you have in that pool. That's kind of a simple way to make crest counters. A crest counter, I guess. But, like I said, 13 by 19 sheet is what you're going to need. And then, if you don't have the gridded paper, you can just go along every inch and put a line, and then do the same, you know, horizontally. So that way you have the 13 by 19 full grid. Now, you're going to want to go 6 spaces in on each side into the middle, and that's where you're going to have your monster lord. You're going to do that on both sides, 6 squares in. And then, of course, if you want to have, let me pull this out, the starter zone area, it is 4 squares in from the sides, or from the, you know, the long way, and 1 square in on each side for the short way. So 4 squares on each side here, 8, and 1 on each side. I don't know the exact, I guess it'd be, I think, 11. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's an 11 by 11 square in the middle of the rectangle for your starting area. And as you can see, I just kind of colored those the same way they are in the original Dungeon Dice Monsters mat, you know, gray and gold. And then, like I said, you can add a border to the excess if need be to, you know, give you a little bit more room to work with, or kind of layout. And you could always color it in. For this one, I just did Mod Podge on it. Mod Podge the entire thing up, and it looks not too bad. Now, if you wanted to take it a step further, you can take a plain mat, an actual rubber, you know, white mat, and you can do the same process on it. And all I did was cut the 13 by 19 shape out. You don't even need the gridded paper for that. And then you can just place it and line it up so it's in the middle. And then I went around it with a Sharpie and just went and did the lines in between, and like I said, added the colors. And of course, you could do all this stuff in whatever colors you'd like. I just kind of went and kept it kind of blank, but you can always fill in these squares as well with whatever color. I just figured it'd be a little time consuming, and I don't really care too much. But then this way you actually have a permanent mat, and it's not too bad. You can get these on Amazon for the specific purpose of making custom mats, but this is for Dungeon Dice. And then of course you have a decent little extra area over here where you could either put, you know, 10 of the crest symbols and just have one kind of counter that you move across them, or you could just have, you know, one image each of the crest symbols and just have like 1 or 2 dice that you keep on top of it and rotate for how many crests you have in lieu of a crest counter. So there is a lot of ways to do that. What I did see some people in like the Dungeon Dice Monsters Reddit, they had like cards with the crest symbols on them that you could just put dice on to count your crests. So there's a lot of way to do the crest counter. Of course, we're going to try and, for the last part, the 7th, or at least in the main kind of line, we're going to recreate the crest counter itself, which I've already kind of done, but I'll show it off in the video, obviously, and the process. But like I said, this is the kind of extended alternative. You can buy some mats online that can get a little more expensive, but this probably took half an hour of work, plus this, I think it was maybe $15 mat. So, you know, and then it comes out pretty well, and of course you could write Dungeon Dice Monsters, your logos or whatever, KaibaHacksDartz, you know, stuff like that. And of course it can go in a tube. If you do make this one a little bit shorter, it can go in a tube, because this happens to be just a little bit shorter. It doesn't have the inch on each side. It probably has like half an inch, maybe a centimeter. As you can see, that's like the border right there. Maybe a centimeter. And that's about on each side, probably maybe a little less. And then not too sure on how much. I think it was like 6 centimeters, or maybe I forget exactly how big that was. No, that can't be 6. But you know what I'm saying. You can kind of figure it out. I just lined this template of the 13 by 19 up. As you can see, there's just an inch around on the black border, and then put it on there. But you could also get the gridded paper, which is it can be a cheap alternative. I found mine for, I think, $5 or $8 or something like that, for like 50 sheets. And then you can do what I did, especially for making the, like the dungeon tiles. But like I said, this works pretty well. And now we have an official kind of Dungeon Dice Monsters mat that I can put in a tube, carry with me. And these can just be kind of prototypes / templates for future stuff, just for quick reference of where to put things. It does definitely help to have something to look at. And of course, if you have any ideas to help, upgrade this, make this a bit better, like I said, you can always laminate it with tape. I figure that it's just, it can get a little bit difficult. It'd be a bit time consuming. And just to show off, I just kind of used a big brush, went across with Mod Podge. Keeps it protected enough. There is tape around kind of the edges on the bottom and stuff, but like I said, if you have any ideas to improve this, let me know. Of course, this is just the cheaper version, and I did show off kind of how to do this. I can do a full video in the future on how I went through making this, if you want, as well as, I'll do upgrades on the other stuff as I can kind of come across them, like with a 3D printer and other objects and such, and different ways of maybe using crest counters and different ideas like that. So like I said, let me know in the comments how you like it. Of course, links in the description to the rest of the Dungeon Dice Monster series, recreating. And of course, links to other stuff like the KaibaHacksDartz Discord, where there's lots of discussions about, Dungeon Dice Monsters, Yu-Gi-Oh! In general, different formats, stuff like that. So make sure to check that out. And like I said, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Lots more coming in the series, and eventually some Dungeon Dice Monster duels, I guess you call them, or dice duels. Don't know what the official name is, but we'll have some of those coming soon, starter set and full 10v10s. So look forward to that. Like I said, like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit that little notification bell so you know when future videos are coming. And otherwise, thanks for watching. Peace.